Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Big news, very, very big news. The Wise of MDY present Paint Night. Gewaldig. Yesterday on Zoom, a young daffer bracing for the impact that Reb Eli's daf will have on his life. Now, because we went to Austria, I thought this was very, very apropos. Did you know that when you come to Austria, there's a special desk for people?
Jews?
No, in the airport. I'll read it with you. If you're having a bad day, just remember that the airport in Vienna has a counter for people who flew to Austria instead of Australia. We know somebody, we all know this guy who does meat in Europe, and he drove and he put the address in his Waze and drove, I think, 8 hours to get to the place, and he got to the place and he doesn't see a Schlachthäus. There's nothing going on. So he asked people, what's going on here? This is the address. They said, this is the address. He said, oh, you idiot. You went 8 hours in the other direction. You're supposed to go that way. So he got in this car. He had to travel 16 hours in the other way. He went to the right city, but it's like, it's off by like one thing. He put in the Waze, he went 8 hours that way. Rebelli, Michael Shamsayev. I think Shamshi, Benny, and many others could relate to this. Rebelli, you made me crazy, LOL. I'm singing Kol Shrotzim all day. So somebody, we're looking for more AI people that are really good at the videos and the stuff. So he drew the one on the right. So he's a good artist, this guy, and he threw it into AI and it came out on the left. Okay, this is, so I got this from two people, but this is really from Rav Yisrael Zev Friedman of Magichir. He says that we're going to start the sugi today with this, that Lech Lecha B'ni, Chaim Spira writes about his experience. Chaz Shapiro, okay, but in Hebrew it's Spira, no?
What's wrong?
Seltzer, it's not seltzer, it's seltzer. Whatever.
They say slutzer in Hebrew. They can't get it, they don't understand. It's
okay. Anyway, he said that people would give everything they had to get a piece of dung, because if you light it up, it scared away the mosquitoes. You couldn't sleep there. There's so many mosquitoes, you couldn't sleep. So it's worth a lot. So maybe that's the pshat. He was Mekadosh with the glolim. It had a lot of value.
Kazakhstan. He was in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, right. It was Uzbekistan, it says over here.
Yeah, right.
Rabbi Isai, look at this. Super exciting. Borough Parks, MDY, local Chaburish here this week, Tuesday. Check this out. 13 people here. Yeah, that's also a lovely year. What else? And that's the guy that was at the store. Did you notice him? The guy that was in line waiting for breakfast with the blue shirt. Here he is. He showed up with his blue shirt. Here he is on the right. Oh, here he is. Now there's a guest here yesterday. I forgot his name already. Mendel maybe? Chassidish Yingeman, who's sitting right over here, right next to you. And he came to me after the shir. He says, listen, we got to open up a borough park shir. There's so many boys that are roaming the streets, 12, 1, 2 in the morning. If you make like a spot in borough park, this is more in somebody's house, but maybe like he was thinking about Shomer Shabbos, whatever. He said, people will come, I promise you will be very, very much liach. He wants to do it. So he's going to go back, wherever you are, help him out. I told him to reach out to Yisrael Goldstein or whatever. This is Good Morning Rabbi in camp. This is how it's done in camp. Listen to this. It wasn't even sent for that. I didn't even know they use it, but here we go. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meirib Shmuel Baruch Berib Chaim Tzvi Doi Zechron Lebracha. It's the whole. It has the whole camp thing. You know, saying you know that room. You were in that room. That's where the staff sits and the waiters come around. You know what I'm talking about? Anonymous. Anonymous. May our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. Coil sponsors. Moshe Aramir Milandi. Thank you Hashem for the bracha and the simcha. TCS Israel Power by Talk and Save Anonymous for Shlema Chulda Leah Bas Bracha. Weekly sponsors Anonymous. Zech Nishmas Ori Ben Elchanan Hashem Yikom Damoy. Ori Danino, who brought light in the darkest place. Brian's friends Lili Nishmas Rivka Bas Yisrael Eliezer. Ari Farkas. That my father, Do Farkas, should stay strong in his Daf Yomi commitment and connection to Yiddishkeit. I don't know what that means exactly. Dov is huge. He's been with us since Brachas, I guess. The Yom and Zicherman for Shleim Avram ben Elisheva Pnino. Check this out. There's two Chaim Newmans here, one on top of the other. Both names, different names, but even the Chaim is spelled different. Chaim with a Y, Newman, Refuah Shlema for my father, Betzalel ben Chana Rivka, who is having open heart surgery today, Refuah Shlema. Chaim Neiman, Lenishmas Rachel Basar Rav Chaim Oleh Shalom. The Sepulowitz Goldenberg family, Lili Nishmas, our beloved Mechutin, father and grandfather, Rav Chanan Goldenberg Zitzal, a Marbitz Torah molded thousands of children into Bnei Torah. MDYR, Mount Levi for Shlema, for Yonatan Eitan ben Sheva Bracha, for Shlema, Mordechai ben Esther, before Ayelet Daniel Zev ben Ayelet Esther. Roisai, yesterday, recall this picture, Mordecai picture. We're holding actually on Daf Amud Beis. Let's just go back 3 lines and we'll jump back to the bottom of the Amud. But 10 lines up, we said Omer Rav Yehuda Shalom, Omer Rav Chali Omer Rav. HaMekadesh beperesh shor haniskol mekudeshes. Yeah, we're just going to do a very small chazar to get into the sugi a little bit. If you use the dung of a shor haniskol, so somebody pointed out at the end of Shir, after Shir was over, if you look at this picture, what do you see? You don't really see it, but here I'm going to zoom into it. Here's the Shor HaNiskal. Shor HaNiskal is a bull that killed a human being, so he must die. And you take the dung of that Shor HaNiskal, who's Asur Bahana, and you try to be Mekadesh a woman with it, Mekudeshes, it works. Why? Because the dung is separate of the animal. It's not part of the animal. It's considered a pirsha. But if you use the same dung, but it's a bull of Avodah Zarah, Eino Mekudeshes, Shina Mekudesh, the Gemara says either we learn it from logic or we learn it from a pasuk. The logic would be that Avodah Zarah it's good for the person bringing Avodah Zarah that his animal looks nice and zaftig, nice geschmack, his stomach, and that perish actually, you're right, it's not part of the animal, but it blows up the stomach a little bit, and he wants it. So it's part of Avodah Zarah, whereas by the Shor HaNiskal, he doesn't really want it. He doesn't need it at all. It doesn't help him. So it's not part of the Shor HaNiskal. So now it says, Omar Rava, 3 lines from the bottom. If you really look into it, says Rava, you can learn from our Mishnah. Tarvayu Tanini. In our Mishnah, we have a very interesting back and forth between Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Shmuel. Both of them, they're walking on the way. And Rabbi Shmuel asks Rabbi Yeshua, what's the reason that the non-kosher cheese is asur? The goyish cheese is asur to eat. Why is it asur to eat? So Rabbi Yeshua tells him because it's part of an nevela. So Rabbi Shmuel already thought about it, obviously. He says, what do you mean it's part of an nevela? I'll prove to you that's not part of a nevela. I'll prove to you that's pirsha. It's separate of the animal. V'haraya, that a kohen could eat the rennet of an oila. An oila, carbon oila, the whole thing has to go on the mizbeach. You can't have any benefit from it. And if you do benefit from it, what happens? You have to pay the Beis HaMikdash a fine. You have to bring a carbon, there's me'ilah. Yet, if the kohen wants to, he could gulp down a bunch of rennet. So what do you see? And he says, oila is way worse than a nevela. It's worse, not way, it's worse than a nevela. It has more of a chumrah. You have to bring a carbon, you have to pay a fifth, the whole thing. Yet he's allowed to l'chatchila take a bunch of rennet if he doesn't care, if it doesn't disgust him, gulp it down. So what if it's part of a nevela? It's nothing, it's not part of the nevela. So he goes and he says, let me change up my pshat, says Rabbi Yeshua. No, it's part of Avodah Zarah. This animal was Avodah Zarah, that's why. So from these 2 things we can learn these 2 halachas, says Rava. Rabbi Shua answers him. He says, you know why it's asur? It's because the rennet is done from it's rennet of an avela, of a non-kosher animal. So Rabbi Shmuel doesn't like it. And he says, it's not part of the nevela at all. It's like milk. Let me ask you, are you allowed to drink milk from a cow that died without a shechita? Yeah, why not? Why not? You're drinking milk every day from cows. I don't know if they died or not died. You don't need a shechita to drink the milk. It's separate.
Milked it before.
And let's say they milked it after. Who said it's also?
I don't know. It's an available. I don't know.
It's not part of it. It's not part of it. It's not part of it. What?
A dead cow? Milking a dead cow? I don't know. Right? Sounds weird.
I don't know. I think it's not a problem.
Dead cow lying there, you milk it.
Huh?
Doesn't sound geschmack. Doesn't sound geschmack.
So you're saying it's saucer? Whole of trip. All right.
Sounds weird.
Akopanim, we're learning a sugi of Pirshayu. Okay? So maybe that's not a good example. Pirshayu just means that it's not part of the animal. It's separate of the animal. It's the sweat of the animal. And you could drink the rennet of oila, it's not part of the animal. So now, top of Amud Aleph, you see that something that's also about like a oila, like a straw skull, the pirshayu, whatever that is, the milk, the rennet, is mutter. Oh, and what did Rabbi Shua answer him? The answer is because no, the cow is not an avela, the cow is Avodah Zarah. And that was good. But Rabbi Shmuel had another problem. And he tells Rabbi Shua, so if so, then it should be completely also by no, not just also by chila. So what do you see? So from our Mishnah, you see two things: that Isra no, you're allowed to drink the milk and the rennet, and the Avodah Zarah cow, you're not allowed to drink the milk and the rennet. Also pirshayu.
Why?
Oh, we just said either it's a pasuk, or it's logic, or logic.
What's the nafka?
I said because it blows up the stomach. Yeah, it looks better for Avodah Zarah. If Avodah Zarah wants the sweat, wants the milk, wants the rennet, so it's part of the Avodah Zarah. Not that it's part of the animal, it's part of the Avodah Zarah. Ask the Gemara, seems like Rabbi Shua is kind of stuck. He's answering him, the Vela, that didn't work out. He goes back to, well, it's Avodah Zarah, that also doesn't work out well for him, because he slams him, he says, well, if it's Avodah Zarah, it should be also Bahana. Which we're going to see later, that Rabbi Shua is really messing with him, sort of. He was just giving him klutz answers because he didn't want him to ask him the question. And the Gemara is going to explain why. It was a new gzeira. I'll just say it now. It was a new gzeira, so Rabbi Shua wasn't allowed to tell him what's going on because he would ask too many questions. So he started being doichem. It's nevela. No, it's the Avodah Zarah. We're going to see what the problem is. It's a different problem. But Rabbi Shua should have answered him. Oh, it's a new yisoid here. Maybe the point is you cannot see the rennet. It's not something visible. You don't see it. You have a whole thing of milk, and you add a couple drops of this rennet. It's not nicker. And I'll prove it to you. The murias, what's the whole problem with murias? Murias here, this fish stuff. Person, the concern is that the guy is going to put some yain nesach there, and Rabbanan said it's not also ba'ana. It's true ba'ana. My timer. What's the reason? Yeah, there's a little bit yain nesach in there, but it's not noticeable. You can't see, you can't discern, you can't taste this wine. So it's not a problem. Oh. So maybe that's the pshat in the rennet. Yeah, there's rennet in the milk, but it's not something noticeable. When you eat cottage cheese, not cottage cheese, that's not a good example. You eat cheese, do you see the rennet? You don't see the rennet. Says the Gemara, what?
Its presence is never.
Oh, says the Gemara, but no, you're right, you don't see it, but you do see it. Why do you see it? You know how you see it? Because it's cheese and it's not milk. How did it become a block of cheese? From the rennet. Oh, rennet is right here. You don't need to see rennet. It doesn't have to be another color. Amri hacha kivin the oikmei kamoikim. It's a maimed. It makes it what it is. Chashav leikeman the isili sur be'enei. The only way it could be cheese is with the rennet. So then it's not like the wine in the Murius. Wine in the Murius is not there. It doesn't do anything. Nothing. No flavor, no color, garnished. Maybe it takes away the fishy, whatever, but it's not there. But this is a maimed. A maimed is very noticeable because without it, it wouldn't be where it is. And Memela, what does that have to do with the daf? Like everything else. All these people that are behind the scenes, Gary Ben Moshe, Dave, even the people that were here in the beginning and are not here today, the Yosef Biliaks, Yeshua Aaron Price. Yeah, I'm saying the people that work behind the scenes, not that are sitting here. They're Maimed of the Maimed. No, they're Maimed. Tomer. All the guys that were part of building the organization, still here. It's not like they're gone. They made a big roshim. Zok the Gemara. It's as if they're right here now. Says the Gemara, he married him off to a chazer. Well, Dover Acher is a chazer. So he tried to change the topic and he went somewhere else. He jumped into some pasuk. He says, let's talk about something else. Your uncles, which means your love is better than wine. Pshat. What's pshat in doidi? We're coming up to Elul. Anila doidi v'doidi li. You don't want to hear that. That's traumatic. I know, I get it. But ki toivim doidecha. By the way, when Elul comes, we're going to have. He's been working on it a whole year already. Mendy, it's going to be a real. Whatever. Okay. Ki toivim doidecha miyoyin. Why does it say doidim? Why does it say uncle? Ki toivim abba miyoyin. Why a uncle? Because the uncle, that uncle that comes from America, especially the rich uncle from America, he only comes with gifts. He's not mechanech, he doesn't give any advice, nothing. He's just an uncle, he's a good guy. He comes, he gives a shtickle present, and he moves on. That's kitoyim doidecha. He also Ravdimi Omar, Omar Knesset Yisrael L'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he changes the topic, he pulls out a pasuk. And he says, what's pshat in this posing shir shirim? Kitoyim doidecha miyoyin. Ki also Ravdimi Omar, Omar Knesset Yisrael L'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Knesset Yisrael tells Hashem, Rebbeinu Shalom, Areva Molai Divrei Doidecha. To me, the Chachamim are more beloved than your Torah. Divrei Doidecha Yosem Yenish Torah. The Gzeiros that the Chachamim do, the things that the Chachamim instituted, are better to me than the wine of Torah. Ma'ishna Haikra D'Shailei. So then, why does he bring up this pasuk? If he's trying to bring out the point that I listen to the Chachamim, so there's other psukim. The most famous pasuk here in Eretz Yisrael is Vosisa, Kechol, Sheyirucha. There's other psukim that even. What's lachste?
It's either laugh or cry.
Chol Sheyirucha. Al Yamin Shu Smol Shu Yamin. Everybody knows. So why did he pull out this pasuk? Or Reb Shimon Pazi, which is not as obvious as Kechol Sheyirucha and other psukim. Or Reb Shimon Pazi V'Teim, or Reb Shimon Barami, Bereish the Krok Omrali, because he really wanted to bring out the first part of the pasuk. Yishokeini min ashikois piu, should kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. Reb Shimon Pinko says the big enough community between a kiss and a hug, a father could hug 3 kids in a shot. He can go like this. A kiss is one-on-one. Say to Hashem, this is where the kiss from Hashem maybe came from. This is the side right over here. Kiss from Hashem. It's a one-on-one thing. Omar lei Yishmael Achi. Really, what he wanted to point out is the beginning of the pasuk. And he's telling you, Yeshua tells you, Yishmael, Achi, my brother, Achi. Here, my son. We didn't know literally until like 6 months ago. With the, I don't want to get into the Fortnite shtos. Whoever knows. But it's if you have a teenager on Fortnite, Hashem Yirachem. Anyway, all of a sudden we hear him talking in Hebrew. He has his headsets on. Achi, sasmola, yamina, ubara. Whoa, we never heard him once. My wife's like, so cute, he speaks Hebrew. Yeah, he's been in the country for like 11 years. I hope he speaks Hebrew. We never heard him once. This is a few weeks ago we started hearing it. Anyways, the main word is achi. Achi, that's like the biggest slang here in Israel. Achi. Chashoiks fosecha zu bezu, shut up. Bekitzer, that's what it means in English. Chashoiks fosecha zu bezu. Close those lips of yours. And please, don't hurry to answer. Why not? This is a brand new gzera. And you're not supposed to talk about a new gzera. You don't go into the details. And the Gemara is going to explain why. Yeah, we could say it in a little bit. Mike Zerto, the problem is not Nevela. The problem is not Avodah Zarah. This is the problem. That's the problem. We're concerned about the snakes inserting the venom. So now I'm going to ask you a question. I hope everybody knows the answer, but don't answer. Don't answer. Raise your hand if you know the answer. Then I might pick on you, but don't. If you don't, ruin it for Leiba. I want to ask you a klutz kasha. It's really a klutz kasha. But you might not know the answer. Don't feel bad. If we're so concerned about snakes inserting their venom into the milk, into the water, how come the goyim don't care? How come they're not makbid magula? Huh? Somebody raise their hand, please. Somebody. You don't count. What do you say?
The goyim are used to it. They have immunity resistance.
You hear this, Rabbi Feder? What he says? There's a guy that works in the fish department, right?
No,
the meat department. What's wrong with me?
It was 2 days ago, 3 days ago. How come they have immune system? How come?
I call Ashrovotzim yesh bohem meresh veshrotzim einoi mevemis. What does that mean? It was that Gemara. But you guys are so into the song, you forgot. Kol Ashrotzim yesh bohem meresh. All the shrotzim have. That's right. All the shrotzim on the bottom of the base. All the shrotzim have poison, but they don't kill. And because the goyim eat shrotzim, so they build up an immunity. Yes. Okay. That's why I made a song out of it. I thought the other one would remember. They remember the song, they don't remember what it's about.
Only reason why I remember it.
No, for real. Okay. So why didn't Rabbi Yeshua, why was he not telling him what's going on? Why is he telling him Nevela and then he gets him good on Nevela? So he says, okay, it's Avodah Zarah, he gets him good on Avodah Zarah. Say the truth. Say it's in the Nikur. It's the snake. When they make a gzera in Eretz Yisrael, the Chachamim don't tell anybody the reason. They'll make it inish because there'll be people that are going to say, the snake, I don't have snakes in my house, I haven't seen a snake in 2 years. They'll make a chayzik of the Chachamim, and we want people to accept it. After a year, then people get used to it, and then you tell them the reason, and even if they don't like it, farfallen. So I thought about this, but then I saw Tosis Mamish talks about it. Sometimes in Chinuch also, especially when you're talking to a smaller child, you don't get into the reasoning. Why do I have to come home by 12:30 at midnight? Can I stay up? All my friends stay up till 2. Kacha. You just say because. You start getting to the reasons, and then they start arguing. But this reason doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I will get up on time. It's not true. So it says Tosis over here. Reb Shimon bar Chagi, b'shem Reb Shmuel bar Nachmani, kovsham levushecha, kovsham ksiv. Hakeza b'shah shetalmidecha ktanim. When you have younger students, don't tell them the reasoning behind the Torah. But once they get older, you should discuss with them the secrets of the Torah. So when it comes to chinuch also, I think, until your kid is like 26 years old, don't tell them any reasons. Say, Azoyez, later on. Today it might be 3 years old. I don't know what the age is. Everybody figure out. Megade bar Rabbi Yirmiyah. I got to tell you a Mordek Maisa, nothing to do with the daf, but it's Mordek because I wanted to say yesterday, and somebody said that it was already said in Shir, and then we found out, we went through the videotapes, it was not said in Shir. So I got to tell you this Maisa, it's an unbelievable story. It's a classic. It's still in the making, and it has to be anonymous. But Rabbi Dudi Braverman is a very well-known speaker here in the Arachim circuit. He gives these beautiful speeches. Beis Hashem is going to be, we invited him to speak at our Shabbaton here in Eretz Yisrael. He has a whole bunch of stories. So he told us a story, we have it recorded, a story that just happened a few weeks ago. There was a very, very powerful Israeli couple from a fancy neighborhood, let's call it Tel Aviv. And they're kind of famous here in Eretz Yisrael, a little bit on the left. And they came to Arachim. And the husband, powerful, very wealthy, the husband started getting into Yiddishkeit. And he came to another one, to the point where the wife said, Atkan, no more. She went to the Rabbanut and opened up a file to get divorced. A real divorce, not she was thinking, divorce, done. So they came to speak to Reb Dudi, and Reb Dudi said, listen, I have a weird thing to ask of you, but don't ask questions like this. Don't ask, Mama's going to get to the daf. Don't ask any questions. I'm telling you, do it without asking questions. He says, go ahead and watch MDY Shir a few times together. Said, what are you talking about? It's Daf Yomi. He told him, he says, that's it, do it. Just so happens to be that we were on the safari then. We're on the safari, and they start watching the Shir, and the wife couldn't believe it. She calls him up, she says, I thought Haredim is something else. I thought it's beards and payas and this. She said, that guy's Haredi. And that guy, not really Haredi, but whatever. She thought I was. She says, but that's from. You could go on a safari and learn Torah? If that's the case, I want to be from. Maisa Shahaya. And she said they got back together. They got rid of the thing. What? Close the tick. And now she's going to Arachim, she's being mischazik. I hope she doesn't watch the English Shir. Maisa Shaya, he's saying over, like, I can't say names, and we wanted to contact him, absolutely not, but this is his story. Because, why? Because she saw they could learn Torah and have fun at the same time. So then I said, you know what, if she did, then I have to go to Austria also. Maybe I'll bring more people, then I'm going to go to Chicago. Kids, I'm doing this L'Shem Shamayim. This is L'Shem Poshet to bring more people to Yiddishkeit.
9 months from now.
Yeah. Zok the Gemara. But you see how it ties right into the Taisus to everything else here. Zok the Gemara. Ask the Gemara, Megadev bo Rabbi Yirmiyah. Rabbi Yirmiyah didn't like this. He made fun of it. You're so concerned about a snake? How's it possible? What happens when a snake inserts its venom into the milk? It won't change anything. It has different properties that cause it to stand still. Yevesha tishtari. If you see dried cheese, it should be fine. It shouldn't be a problem. You could buy a nice block of cheese from a guy because obviously it doesn't have any venom in it. Yashan tishtari. If it's a nice aged cheese, also it should be mutter. The venom doesn't allow it to dry out. Yashan mutar yashan doesn't allow it to. Was that snake on my thing the whole entire time? Okay, it doesn't allow it to age. So Mamela can't be the problem. The venom is not the problem. Says the Gemara. If you ever buy a yogurt, so when you open up the yogurt, what do you see on top? There's a little film of whey. A little film of leftover liquid. She says, who told you what that liquid is? You're right. But maybe there's a little, the liquid over there, that's the cholavakum, that's the problem over there. New pshat. Shmuel says, you know what the problem with this whole cheese? The problem is not the rennet. The problem is that we're using meat. And meat is asur. Meat is nevela. Here, let me just show you again what it looks like. We're not talking about the liquid rennet. We're talking about the liquid rennet together with physical meat. And this meat is 100% asur. Why is it asur? Because it's nevela. This comes from. Oh, so ask Rabbi Ariel, it should be basar b'chalav. Wanna? Huh? Oh, what do you say, Jonathan? It's not nothing. Why is it? So then it's not nevela.
That's what we say. That's the chora that you can actually use.
No, but if it is nevela, he's asking, then jump to basar b'chalav. It's a chalis, or there's a better answer. Better answer, boy say. There's no or no. It's part of the keva. Nevela was before basar b'chalav. I hear all good answers, not the real answer. Know anybody? Huh?
Wood.
If it's wood, then it's not nevela.
It is.
No, there's a much better answer. Oh, it's not cooked. To take a piece of cold meat and mix it with cold milk is not a issa d'oraisa. The Torah says to be mvashel. Why is it kavush? Why is it kavush?
It's doing something to it. It's mamish doing something to it.
So what? But it's not mevushel.
It's cooking.
It's not mevushel. I'll tell you what Tosfos says. Tosfos asks the kasha. Tosfos says the answer that the issa d'oraisa is to cook it together, to put it together, is just the rabbanon. So in Mela, I'm going to a much bigger issa called nevela, which is the d'oraisa. That's why the Gemara goes with nevela. You're asking this kavush, you're asking all many things. I hear. Says Gemara, what does Shmuel say? Because he's using the meat. No, the kevas nevela. The meat of the rennet of the nevela. As the Gemara now, Rabbi Shomberg, now the Gemara asks, hakeva gufa sharia. The rennet itself is mutter. It's only because it's the meat itself that it's a nevela. But what about the rennet? You tell me it's mutter. It says there's a Mishnah in Chulin that says that the rennet, kevas, the rennet, not the oil of the keva, the rennet itself, the kevas of a non-Jew, of an idol worshiper, that animal, harez asura. It says mefurish asur. And the Gemara asks over there, what do you mean? What happened to the nevela part? It's one thing. It is a nevela. It's a nevela. The rennet is nevela. So you see over there in the Mishnah that rennet is asur likashia. The Mishnah over there is no good. Daf Lamed Hey Amud Beis. Kan kodim chazara, kan lacha chazara. You see from our Mishnah over here that Rabbi Shua says that it's not a problem. The nevela is not a problem. When Rabbi Shmuel asked Rabbi Shua, but what about oila? You're allowed to drink the rennet of oila. So he realized that nevela is not a problem. If nevela is not a problem, then the Mishnah over there is a mistake. We take back the Mishnah. The Mishnah is off. You're right, it's a mistake, but the Mishnah stays in Chulin the way it is, because once it's in the system, we don't take it out. Sponsor. Turning of the Daf, Adar Global, experts in international financial services, anonymous as a schus for Hatzlacha in Ruchnis and Gashmias, and with gratitude for a safe and healthy birth of our baby boy. Givat Shalva, a Torah true community in Givat Ze'ev. Says the Gemara, Ramalkio Mishmeidu Rabador Barahava Omar, Mipnei Shemachlikim Poneo, Bishuman Chazir. Does the Olam remember this Ramalkio? What do you remember? Oh. Remember, there's a list. And we made the list like this at the end, 4-2. But in the list on the left, one of the things that we pass on Ramalkio is Gvina. What does Gvina mean? Gvina means that the reason of the Isser of buying a block of cheese from the Ovid Kechavim is because of the lard. Here, where do we have that picture? This. So over here, in 2003, Cabot Creamery asked us to use the age special bet. We coat the young cheese in lard. Shteita. So the thing they do out of Yamazeh, I even remember Rabbi Shomberg talking about this back in the day. Remember?
I was in a cheese factory once and I actually sold it to the
That's what you told me then. The 7.5 years ago, I remember. Right? You told me this, Pa? You remember telling it to me? Yeah. Okay? So Nachama, so we have another problem. Not the snake, not the nevela, not the Avodah Zarah, the lard. It's a big problem. There was Reb David Kaplan said that he knows somebody, a Ma'aseh Shaya, he says there was a guy that wasn't so affiliated, but when it came to Pesach, super machmer. I'm going to talk about it soon. There's certain things that when a person grows up, it doesn't matter how off they go, there's certain things stick in their head. Shalom Yisrael. It looks like pizza. Or like my brother, maybe I shouldn't say the Maisa, but okay, I said his name already. And I spoke to him yesterday for an hour, so I'll give myself a schos. When he davened Shemona Esrei, I brought him. He doesn't take 3 steps behind when somebody's davening behind him. But he's not so affiliated. He will not go. He'll wait there for an hour. He doesn't go back. Because when he was a kid, that's what he did. It's stuck in his head. Anyway, so maybe you should erase it. Maybe not. I don't know. Just don't tell him about it, okay? If you watch this year, you know him. Don't. I'll go upon him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. So it says Reb David Kaplan, this guy, he doesn't go to hotels in Pesach. He doesn't eat anything bought from the store. Everything has to be homemade. And one day, like one of his relatives walks in there and sees him soaking these beans or whatever in beer, making a dish for Pesach with beer. He says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh yeah, I didn't chap that it's chametz. I didn't know." Mamish, like the cheese in the beer, the cheese in the lard, the thing. One of my friends had a guest for Pesach. You know, like you come to the guest, you bring a bottle of wine. So this guest brought him a bottle of whiskey on Pesach. So my shoiter friend, he takes the bottle, he makes a kinyan on it on Pesach, and runs with it to the bathroom and pours it out of the bathroom. Like, what are you doing? Just tell him you can't take it. Whatever. I don't know which one is the bigger Amaret.
Don't make a kinyan. Don't make a
Yeah, okay, I don't know. You see, he took it, so you don't make a kinyan, so how could you pour it out? It's not yours to pour it out. Yeah, it's not so nice. I don't know. Kids are. He invites him to be mechazik him and whatever, and then you're like, this guy's not going to be from forever. What are you doing? Bring me whiskey and Pesach. I'm sugar. See you guys later. Zog the Gemara. Oh, another pshat. The problem is because they use vinegar from a goy, which started out as wine of a goy. Yain esach chaymetz. Here we even have There's a way to make cheese. Very chashiv. Put a little wine in there, and it curls up. Another pshat. Bisraf arla. Here, sraf arla. So you take like a little bit of this stuff from here's a fig tree. Take a little bit of the sap, and I don't know why I have to inject it like that, but okay. I guess you have to know exactly how much. Yeah, okay, how many cc's. Okay? So the Gemara, now, you have to ask yourself a question. Arla makes the fruit usher for 3 years. Asabana. The actual tree itself, the roots, no. So now you have to think to yourself, what is this sap, this white stuff that comes out of a leaf? Is it a fruit?
perish.
Or is it a branch? What is it? It's an afkamina.
Perish.
It's perish. You say it's perish.
It's not part of the tree. It's coming out of it. It's like milk. It's like
What about a fruit? A fruit is also coming out of the tree. Fruit is for sure not part of the tree.
This is nothing, but it's not a zach that you use.
Okay, so you're saying that it's not usually used. Maybe they use it a lot. Maybe they used to make cheese like that.
The leaves of an arlitrary are not a problem. It's only the fruit that's a problem. It takes the leaf off an arlitrary.
Right, but it's not a leaf. This is like a fruit. You're using it as food. You're using it as a fruit.
Exactly the leaves.
I have. Oh, so let's, instead of us arguing, Keman, there's a machlokes about it. Ki aitana the san Rebbe Lezer, or Rebbe Lezer holds hamamid bisraf arla. If you use the sap, also mipnei shu peri. It's a pri. He holds it's a fruit. Others argue. Says Gemara, Rebbe Shua argues. I can only pull Rebbe Shua ali the Rebbe Lezer ali bekatva the gavzo. The sap that comes out of the tree from the wood. Avokatva the pera, but if it comes out of the fruit itself, maybe over here he's using the fruit itself, the sap that comes out of the fruit. V'hayda Snan Omer Yeshua Shamati Befeirush Shamayme B'Srafa Ilon B'Srafa Yikarin Mutar, that if you use the leaves and the roots, it's mutar. But if you use the actual figs, the unripe figs, also. Depends where you take the sap from. If you take it from the fruit, it's fruit. If you take it from the leaves, it's nothing. Says the Gemara, but a question. Bein Rav Chisda. Rav Chisda says the problem is that you're using vinegar, and vinegar is yain nesach. Bein Rav Nachman, by Yitzchak, you're using the sap of the tree and it's arla. So you might have two isurim deiraisa. You talk about no. How come the whole isur is just to eat it? It should be also about no. If it's yain nesach, it's also about no. If it's arla, also about no. Says Gemara kasha. You're right. It's good kasha. Another little piece of agada. The smell, the fragrance of your oil is great. It's beautiful. Tamid Chacham is similar to Letzluchas Shel Pleiten, a bowl of balsam oil. Megula Reichanoidev, if it's open, in other words, if the Tamid Chacham goes out and gives over his Torah, then people find out about him, says Rashi. Bechusei Reichanoidev. Where was this? Oh, no, something else. Bechusei Reichanoidev, if he's covered and he doesn't tell anybody about his, that he knows how to learn, then nobody will be able to smell the beautiful fragrance. So Rashi learns pshat that because he learns a lot of Torah, so he'll get giluyim in Torah. Because Baruch will teach what?
Because he teaches.
Because he's a teacher, because he gives over his Torah. Hashem, what did I say?
No, you didn't mention the teaching.
This guy, there's a guy that teaches and doesn't teach. A guy that gives over and doesn't give over. If he gives over, so Hashem gives him more sidus. Taisa says no. It's a standard thing that if a person gives over Torah, he's a rabbi in a shul, so people come and tell him their secrets. Rabbi said, "Don't tell me any secrets right before shir." Today, as I'm walking up the steps, somebody gave me a good secret that gave me a knockout punch. Secrets after shir. Shit. Look at the guy that has his head in his lap, and then go to him and ask him afterwards. No, I'm just kidding. Shenemar, Alom Yivucha. The youngsters will love you. Kariba Alumais, those who are the nistarais, the hidden things are gonna love you. You're gonna get the hidden. If you're a Talmid Chacham and you give over, check this out. You become best buddies with this guy. What does that mean? Because it means he's not going to want to kill you. Shenemar Alom Yivucha Kri Bei Almavis. You're above death. Famous Gemara in Ksubas with Rabbi Shimon Levi, who's a good friend of the Malach HaMaves, and the Malach HaMaves can kill him. The whole thing. But it's interesting that there in the Gemara in Ksubas Ayin Zayin, it says right before that Rabbi Shimon Levi used to teach them in Tzarayim. Nobody wanted to come close to him. He would teach them Torah. Fits right in here. You teach other people Torah, so the Malach HaMaves loves you. Another thing is, he gets two worlds. He teaches Torah, so he gets the two worlds, this world and that world. The says the Mishnah, now we're going to learn about Cholav Stam and Paspalter. So these are things, until now we learn things that are also about no. Now we're going to learn about things that are also to eat, but not also about no. So if you have a Hershey's bar, don't eat it, but it's not also about no. You could sell it. It used to be a thing that the Jews used to go watch how they would milk cows. It was also a thing when in Chicago back in the day there was only to get kosher, so they had like a little kosher store. So I remember specifically, like before Pesach, you had to sign up for Chalav Yisrael milk, and also sign up for Maror. And you couldn't get one piece more. It was like mamish. You had a notebook. You ordered this. If you got the order, forget it. You didn't have a Pesach. And then the big store opened up over there, Jewel. It's like massive store, and they had a kosher section, and they made a chiddush. As much milk as you want, as much Maror as you want. And what happened? Everybody started going to this, even like in a weekday, they started kitzur. Okay? So, Chalav Yisrael. There was Rabbunim I can't say it. I'm not going to say it. Reb Simcha Bunim.
The Rebbe of Simcha Bunim.
The Rebbe of Simcha Bunim. That's right. That's it. Later on, I'll practice. He said he had 3 siyat. He was not a Rebbe. He was more of a Baal Bas in the beginning. And he said he had 3 siyat shmayas. The one siyat shmayas, well, he's once at a place, at a hotel, and the guy offered them coffee and milk. And he said he doesn't want to drink the milk. So his chaver said, well, why not? What could be wrong? What could possibly be wrong in the milk? And then the guy came back and he said, "No, did you like the coffee? I tried something new," he said. "I tried camel's milk. It's ganz geschmack, no?" And he said, "Oh, I was nitzel from..."
That's the story.
You want me to show it to you in a sefer again? I'm going to show it to you in a
Would
sefer.
have lived in Russia.
Yeah.
There's no camel's milk. The whole thing doesn't make sense. Moscow doesn't make sense. Pig's milk, maybe. Camel's milk in the middle of Russia.
We don't say pig in shir. I meant no.
Camel's milk.
Here, here's camel's milk.
From like Saudi Arabia. The Arabs have
Here, look, check this out. Check the guy, the American, drinking this camel milk afterwards. Ganz geschmack afterwards.
It's very, doesn't make sense.
I looked it up. No, I looked it up. It's on It's a Chachma.
Or
It's a Chachma.
maybe treif.
It says camel. No, so they made a shtickle mistake. Here's the American drinking the milk. Whatever. Okay. Now, I gotta say this ma'isa, even though I said it a few times. I have to say this ma'isa. It's one of the classics of the classics. When I was building the house in Miami, we bought a house from Dontrell Willis. He was we didn't buy from him. He lost it to the bank back in 2008 or whatever, when the whole market went down. Beautiful house on the water. And I took my whole crew. We went down to Miami to do the work there. So there was a Lubavitcher guy that helped us out a lot. He was doing a lot of stuff there. I became very friendly with him. And one day I was driving, and I was eating cheesecake. He says, "Could I have a piece of cheesecake?" I said, "Sure." So I gave him some of my cheesecake. And then he says, wait, where did you buy this cheesecake? I said, "Oh, I got it in the bagel store." He says, "Stop the car right now. Stop the car!" So I stopped the car. He jumps out of the car and he starts putting his finger in his mouth to make himself throw up. He goes, the whole thing. It's a whole thing. Finally, he's done with that. Then he bends down. He picks up a bunch of grass off the ground. He rips the grass out. He starts chewing grass. He's chewing the grass, chewing, and he spits it out. Spit. Finally, he comes into the car. He says, "What is wrong with you? Because of you, I ate chalav stam." Listen, tzaddik, I understand. You just finished telling me how you dented your father's car. You didn't want your father to find out, so you brought it to the shop on Shabbos. and you're worried about this? He says, "You Meshugana, the Rebbe said it's from the Chamurois. It's from the Chamurois." He starts screaming, "It's from the Chamurois." I couldn't believe it. And the next day he comes, we did a barbecue there, and my shver was there. I said, "Tell my shver what happened. Tell my shver exactly what it says. You're Meshugana's son-in-law. He gave me a piece of cake, and it's from Chamurois." No, why am I saying this? Because the people, he happened to be from. But at least he looked at it. He had the whole beard, the whole thing.
Except for Shabbos. Except for that little from guy.
It was a makim sakana. It was begoch nefesh. His father could have killed him. I don't know whatever. There's certain things there's certain things in certain communities that there's no matter what. I don't care how bad you are. These are the things you don't do. They don't eat chalav stam. The beard also. I don't care what you are. No, it's emes. They could be. Fine. Says the Gemara, the Mishnah. Vapas. This is a big thing in America. All those the breads and the cakes and the cookies and all the snacks. Pas palter. Vahashemen. And their oil, shalohen. Also to eat, but it's not a yisayno. Rebbe Bezdino Yitir Hashemen. Rebbe said that shemen is mutter, and the Rambam says, since Rebbe said it's mutter, it's osur to make it a isser. You hear this? Osur to be machmer on it. Once Rebbe said it's mutter. I'll throw this out, not going into the whole sugya. There's the famous Moshe Feinstein. I just want to say this. Moshe Feinstein never said that chalav stam is mutter. What he said is that because the regulations in America are so strict, and a factory that has any brains and doesn't want to lose their $1 billion investment, they're not going to put anything into the milk that's not 100% milk. And therefore, it should have a halacha of a Jew watching it. It should have the same thing. That's his heter. He himself didn't drink it. I'm talking as if I don't eat chalav stam. But that's what he says.
He gave it to other people.
Yeah, the famous Maisa. I'll say the story. I'm sure you're going to have a few hours because I don't know the exact. He was once at a bris or something, and there's like two companies competing, Golden Flow and J&J. Yeah, that was Stam. And he picked up. Hold on. Could you guys pause for just 1 second? The two of you, Mimini Michal and Smoily. I don't know what he is.
No, he's good.
On video, you hear him louder than me. You can't even. It's unbelievable. Story. 2 bottles, and everybody's like watching which one has the better hechsher. He picks one up, he looks at it, and he puts it down. Then he grabs the other one. So the other said, "Wow, that's it." He paskin that this is it. So they asked him. He says, "No, that one didn't have any milk in it. So I put it back down. I took the other one." Is that the Maisa? Something like that. Okay.
J&J and Golden Flow.
Says the Gemara. Says the Mishnah. Vashlakois. Oh. Bishulakum, which is when I was a caterer and I saw that my client is a Sfardi, I started shaking. I should have charged double the price because there's no such thing as you come by Sfardi, turn on the burner in the morning and you go home. Every tray of chicken has to be put in by a Jew. Every comes out, it's a disaster. But they have to be makbid. Sfardim should be makbid. They shouldn't be ashkenuzim when it comes to this stuff. That's their minhag. Ukvashim. And that's what we're talking about. Pickling stuff, shedarkim losses l'toichon, yayim b'choymetz, that the minhag is to put vinegar and wine. V'taris trufa, you take this fish, you chop it up into small pieces. How are you going to buy from a guy? You don't know what's in it. It's all small pieces. You can't tell if it's a sardine or if it's something treif. V'tzir she'ein ba dogo kilbish she'tetis ba. This is fascinating stuff. First of all, let me show you what it is. Then we'll talk about it a little bit. If I can find it. Here we go. Check this out. You see this? This kosher fish on the bottom, if it doesn't have this non-kosher fish, then it might be a problem. Why? Because Rashi says, unbelievable lashon here. He says, "Shederch kolbis legadol me'ileha b'tzir shel dagim." This fish grows by itself, whatever that means. Scientifically, I'm not sure exactly how it works. Maybe it there's an egg in there. If it's kosher, it could grow. If it's not kosher, it can't grow there. And memela, if it's not there, it's a problem. Maybe it's not kosher. It's like it's a whole bunch of things here. If it's there, it's a right, it's kosher. If it's not there, we don't know, so don't eat it. It might not be kosher because you don't see this funny fish in there. Whatever that means. Ba'chilok, type of a grain that's very sharp. The Gemara is going to talk about it. Sorry, chiluk. Sorry, chiluk is what we said yesterday. Chiluk is the type of fish that doesn't have the fins and scales, and later on it does. The koyach chiltis. I made a mistake between chiluk and chiltis. Chiltis is the grain thing. Umelech salkoindis. Ariel asur me'nisur nisan. No, all these things are also, but you're allowed to benefit from it. Cholov l'may nechushlo. What's the big problem with cholov stam? Even shum chalufa, you're scared that the guy is going to change out the milk. Tar chibar tamei yarek. You can tell right away that it's a different color. The non-kosher milk has a bit yellowish tint to it. I don't know. I saw the camel. It looked pretty white to me, but whatever. It's a different color. And if you're concerned that you're going to mix the two, the camel milk, the chazer milk, with the kosher milk, nekum, so take all the milk and make it into cheese. We know, in the time of the Gemara, they didn't have a way to make cheese out of non-kosher milk. And memela, you could tell if it becomes cheese, then it's kosher. So the Gemara, if the guy was in the cheese business, great. He wants it for his cereal. He wants it for his kutach. Oh, kutach. You guys want to see what kutach is? No. So don't make the whole thing into cheese. Take a little sample, take a little cup, try to make it cheese. Because even in the kosher milk, you have all that stuff on the top that floats, that's not really the way that stays there, that's not. So let make him a little milk so you can't really tell whether or not it's kosher or not. You get the koy beni itfei. Here we had this, he did this before and I forgot to show it. We'll show it over here. That's fine, check this out. When you cut the cheese, there's always like a little bit of wet stuff, a little liquid that comes out, geschmack. So that might be the non-kosher milk. You're not going to get 100% cheese. It's only 95% cheese, the rest is liquid. So the 5% that's liquid, maybe it's the chol stam that he injected into it. Should we stop over here?
Yes.
Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.